Hey, my name is Britt, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about our Germany study abroad trip starting at App State, obviously. And it goes to quite a bit of places. You can see the table of contents for 73 places because our trip is 9 days long. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail through everything, but just going to show kind of how the trip is laid out through Google Earth and everything's connected. Kind of one fun fact I wanted to point out actually is I noticed doing this that Kid Brewer Stadium actually hasn't been updated since 2012. This is what the field looked like over 10 years ago, funny enough. And I even saw I actually did see my car parked in my parking spot though, so not sure why that's not updated and the other places are. But we can go ahead and get into the relevant stuff. So we started at App State University, obviously, and we go ahead and drive all the way to CLT, or Charlotte Douglas International Airport in Charlotte. And from here, we then go all the way on a very long flight to Germany in Munich International Airport, all the way across the ocean. And here we are. And then, since that's going to take quite a bit of time, we're pretty much going to go to the hotel straight away. And the hotel we found on TripHub would be very accommodating for the type of trip we are going on with students, and it's kind of right in the heart of Munich, so there's a lot of easy access to places as you can see. So that pretty much completes our day one, and then day two, we decided to look at a bunch of cathedrals because that is a big part of Germany, and we start off with Frankfurt. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that, but we start with there. We also go to St. Michael's, and then also go to another one of St. Peter's. And kind of the first few days, we kind of laid it low a little bit because I think we'd be trying just to kind of get a little bit comfortable with what we are doing around the city and getting comfortable with our environment. So, kind of going through a few churches, getting some looks at the scenery is a good idea, and then going to the hotel for day three. And in day three, we started things off at a large square, another kind of slower day to try to get a hold of where we are, a little town square, tourist attraction thing, and then we ended it at our dinner spot, which we saw was Stadion Schless something. Um, Definitely a interesting spot that we looked at. It was a little bit off the thing in Munich, and we wanted to get the students to kind of tour or explore every part of Germany. So we wanted to do a pub because pubs are a very big part of German culture, and drinking is very big. Obviously, we probably wouldn't be drinking since we are on a student trip, but it's still nice to see the kind of culture of how that is. And another short day as we return to the hotel on day three. And on day three, we on day four we start kicking things up a bit, and we decided to start things off going to the endless staircase. It's actually a pretty cool staircase sculpture. Um, in these kind of column of buildings, you can't really see it from this angle, but as you can see down there, it's a little windy staircase, pretty cool sculpture, and right next to that is the Transportation Museum, where there'll be a lot of interesting things talking about transportation. Obviously, a lot of car companies coming out of Germany, and getting to see that will definitely be very interesting to learn about. Then a trip to the town hall, kind of in the center of the city. Um, get a good look at all the kind of architecture that Germany has. And then going next door to a little toy museum to kind of get a little bit more involved in the culture of the youth in Germany and kind of the type of toys that kids might have. And then on the last stop, we go down to a cemetery, which is a very big cemetery, and it's kind of interesting to see this huge cemetery in the middle of Munich, spanning this length of field, and it would be interesting just to kind of walk through and see. And then at the end of the day, we return back to the hotel to start day five. On day five, we go very far, but this time it is to a concentration camp site, which I think is really important. Obviously, Germany, the pretty large culprits of, or the culprits of concentration camps during World War II, and I didn't think we could go to Germany without at least going to some sort of concentration camp memorial site or somewhere to learn about it, because it's very important. And then just kind of, since the drive is long, we go back all the way to Munich to over to West Park, where we could just hang out as a group. It's a really gorgeous park and a lot of stuff to do here, and just kind of explore and hang out as a group. I think it would be an enjoyable time. And that kind of closes out our day 5, and then we go to day 6, where we start things off going to the Technical University of Munich. And ideally, what we are looking to do is have a class or some sort of lesson that the students can do to kind of get some learning um, internationally about some topics and the way tech is used in Germany. And then after that, they will return back to the hotel, maybe grab some food somewhere, and then go back out to the market, which one's called Victu Alien Market. I'm sure I'm botching that name, but wanted to go see the market to kind of see just what a general marketplace looks like in a normal German town, and to get a experience of that type of culture, as well as really the whole goal of this entire trip is to get every single piece of German culture that you can within the 9 days and get a wide variety of that. And seeing the market is really cool. Also, we go over to something that you wouldn't expect to be in Germany. There is a Michael Jackson memorial just right in the middle of Munich, and I think it'd be interesting to see an American celebrity or musician being celebrated all the way in Germany across the ocean. And that's just an interesting thing to go see. And then we go see Maximilianium, which was a historical building built for gifted students, and it's just pretty cool to go see the architecture of this building and how it's looked over time, and maybe even take a tour of it. Just a cool little spot to go see before finishing our day off on day 6, where we return back to the hotel and then begin day 7. And day 7 is where we kind of wanted to turn things up a notch. We wanted to save kind of the most interesting things, in my opinion, to last. And a really cool thing to go see was the Olympic Stadium, which is a really cool international thing to go see. And going to maybe get a tour or to see this Olympic Stadium is really cool to go look at. And you can see all the little parks and everything surrounding it, and kind of everything that was built for those Olympics. And then also on this day, also go over to the BMW headquarters. Obviously, BMW, a humongous car manufacturer based in Germany, and they're actually headquartered in Munich. And we're looking to, you can see the giant BMW logo. We're looking to take a tour of the BMW headquarters to kind of get a look at how everything goes and is run in Germany. So, really cool way to spend day 7. We'll return back to the hotel to end the day there. And then on our final day of the trip, day 8, we try to do a good variety of things to kind of get it all wrapped up into one. Start off at a little statue, which can kind of be served more as a meeting place for everyone to kind of meet in the center of town, before we go over to a park called Hofgarten, which is a cool little unique park, also in the middle of town, as you can see here. And then we go over to Nymphenburg Palace, which is a pretty huge palace right in the western district of Munich. And to go see this would be a really unique experience, as you don't really see palaces around America, especially nowhere around Boone. So definitely a unique experience to go see a pretty interesting palace. And then another really, really cool spot, which is the final stop on the entire trip, is the Deutsches Museum, which is actually the world's largest museum of science and technology, which is a super, super useful and interesting thing for the students to see and really go explore this giant museum, the world's largest museum of all the science and technology that they can learn about. And I think it's a really useful experience for them to have, and another great educational way to kind of close things off. And then Obviously, on day 8, return to the hotel, and then that will be the last night there. And then day 9, go ahead and return to Munich International Airport, where we will then fly all the way back across the ocean once again to Charlotte, and then make that quick couple hour drive from CLT back over to App State or Boone. And that will be our 9-day trip. Just like that. I think it is definitely a wide variety of things to see, and that was kind of our goal, to get a bunch of different types of things, from churches to museums to concentration camp memorials to palaces to statues to parks to markets, all types of experiences to see in Germany, and really get as much education as you can out of the trip. And yeah, that is how we laid it out here through Google Earth and connected everything. So, yep.